So, Michelle,
Yeah.
I just realized I think my volume is too high. How are, how's your day going?
I don't know.
Good, 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 good. That's good. Uh, I guess I'm having an oddly good day.
Good.
Like I haven't been having a lot of great days lately, to be honest.
Oh.
No, I mean, the last week or so has been pretty decent, but I I don't know. I've been going through kind of like a high stress kind of thing. I know I talked
Yeah.
about it last time we were live a little bit. I'm trying to figure out the exact details of buying my house
Right.
um and man, I need a shave so bad. But so I've been dealing with the details of that, and I've been dealing with just work stress. Um I feel like right now, in the business realm, everything is taking too long and pissing me off just a little bit. Like
Yeah.
I was negotiating a deal to license a movie, and I don't want to talk about it till it's done, till the license is done.
Mhm.
But like the guys had the contract for almost 3 weeks, and I emailed him because it had been a week since I heard from him, and he finally was like, "Oh, I'm having a family thing, but it looks good, and I'll get it back to you right away." And I'm like, "Well, it's been 3 weeks." In the words of my legendary Aunt Betty, the man's slower than Methuselah. That's what she used to say. Slower than Methuselah. So, but it's been annoying because like I have the box art pretty much
Mhm.
done. I just have to get a trailer cut together and it's like ready to release. It's an older film. It's from 2000. I really want to get it out there. But
Yeah.
I feel like he's just like dragging his feet so much, and I don't think here's why it frustrates me. I don't think he's shining me on and after talking to him briefly.
Mhm.
I think he thinks this is just a fine pace.
Maybe. Or maybe he's
I really
just so
do.
stressed out right now that he's just not happening, you
I
know?
mean, I suppose, but he said he'd already read the contract and stuff, so I mean, signing it shouldn't take any time at all.
Maybe he's not in a good mental place and that just feels like it should be terrible and he just can't do it?
I guess so, but still feel like it's been a few weeks.
Yeah,
Like,
no, it's been too long.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was totally okay with it taking an extra week or two, but
Mhm.
now that we're like 3 weeks in, I'm like, I really would like to just have this done,
Yeah.
mostly. But it is what it is. But it's been yeah, so I've been a little frustrated by that. I'd been worrying about buying the house and worrying about business stuff, and I still am like I'm waiting on a statement from one of my distribution partners. And to be honest, I'm like I'm I'm like come on, I'm just like where is it?
Mhm.
Like come on, like send me my statement. It's been 47 days. The contract says you have 45 days, but he's also been good to me, so I'm not going to pull the you're in violation of our agreement. I'm not going to
Right,
pull
right.
that, but I am going to. If he I wrote him on Monday when it was 45 days and just said, hey, I'd like an update, or how's it going. So tomorrow I'll write and be like, just following up, which is
Mhm.
my favorite thing to do, is the just following up. I had one guy, one sorry, not one guy, one total douche bag
Mhm.
who I had the unfortunate pleasure of doing business with. One douche who like I love my favorite thing about the movie business is this concept that like, oh, you want to be paid the money you earned. I can't tell you how many people I've done business with who I would never do business with again, who
Mhm.
I have to like message them and be like, "Hey, the quarter's over. Could I get that statement?" And if I don't send that, they will never send the statement. I mean, because
Yeah.
the one douche who I'm talking about right now, I finally had to threaten him with legal action. Then he was like, "Oh, sorry," and he paid me for 3 years of statements that he never sent.
That's terrible.
Whenever I'm talking to people about that, I always describe it as the way I was talking then. It's like, oh, you wanted to be paid your money. Oh, I thought I thought you just wanted me to keep it. I mean, I know that the contract says I have to send you a statement and then a check within 45 days of the end of the quarter, but I assumed you just didn't want it because, blah, 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 like
Yeah. Yeah.
fucking jerks. I mean,
Mhm.
total jerks. So, so it's like, I do want to get my, my pay, but yeah, it's just, oh, you wanted your money. Oh, I didn't realize. I thought you just wanted me to keep it. I just assumed you
Mhm.
didn't want any of your money. Good. There's no business like show business like no business I know. There you go.
That's
Uh,
interesting because I feel like a lot of times in my life with businesses, it's just like, "Let me pay you." Like, "Why are you making this so hard for me
oh,
to pay
oh
you?"
yeah, as a customer.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. And one of the first business pieces of business advice I give anybody who is foolish enough to listen to me on business advice is I always say, like, please make it easy for your customer to pay you. Please make it easy for them to hire you. Like,
Mhm.
don't give them a bunch of additional tasks that they have
Yeah.
to do. Because it's amazing how many times, yeah, that I've been trying to pay for something and it seems like there's always something new. Meanwhile, I'm standing there cash in hand going like, "Can I just give you my money, please?"
Mhm. Yeah.
It is bizarre. It's bizarre how bad some people are. Now, and don't get me wrong though, this guy who kept that money for all that time, he's a shyster. I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
a shyster. Like,
Yeah.
because it's one of those things, I always love saying this. It's like, so either you're trying to rip me off or you're stupid and you don't know what you're doing. So
Mhm.
which one is it? Incompetent or asshole? Pick
Yeah.
one. It's one or the
Yeah.
other. It's one or the other. But so I've been feeling very positive today, Michelle.
That's good.
I had errands to run today, and I
Mhm.
ran all of them before noon.
Good.
For me, that's impressive. Is that me or you that has like an ice cream truck
It's
sound?
me.
If you want, I can hold down the fort while you go get ice cream.
I don't have any money. I can't get ice cream.
You could try to barter. Hey, I have this cool rock in my pocket. Can I have a piece of ice cream? A piece of ice cream? Can I have a piece of ice cream? Beautiful English execution.
Yay.
Um, but no, I had some errands to run. I went to the bank,
Mhm.
and then I went to I had to go to Best Buy. I had to because I bought this new arm that I have my microphone on because folks, it's getting out of hand. So have you ever heard the term not the literal term, but the like the colloquial phrase gas?
Yeah.
Like in the realm of like musicians or photographers or podcasters or filmmakers, we have this term called gas, and it stands for gear acquisition syndrome.
No.
It's
Yeah.
where you just can't stop buying shit
Mhm.
for your hobby or profession.
Mhm.
I already we you have a storied history of how drunk with power I get over microphones.
Mhm.
I love microphones as long as they do something slightly different than each other.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious because I'll buy a $300 microphone and it'll be like, well, if you EQ it this way, it'll pretty much sound just like this other microphone. And I'm like, but the other microphone naturally sounds that way.
Yeah.
Can I have that? Like, this is the Lewitt LCT 440 Pure. I love the way it sounds. I think it's got like a ton of good sound. So
Mhm.
I bought it. It was also on sale like really really cheap and I finally pulled the trigger on it. But then like on my other boom arm, I have like the microphone all podcasters dream of having, which is the Shure SM7B, which is not even on. I'm not talking into it. It's not doing anything. I mean if you guys want, I can do the show on two mics just to prove a
Yeah.
point.
You
Here we
should.
go. Here we go. So let me put them right next to each other. So now for the rest of the show, I am on two microphones. And see, now they called me mad, Michelle. They called me mad until they heard the pure fidelity, Michelle. I really want ice cream now that I hear your
Me
ice cream truck.
too.
Are you sure you don't have a couple of, I can't PayPal you. I mean, maybe they take
No,
Venmo. They probably do
no,
take
no,
card.
no, I can't afford to just frivolously spend money.
Well, I was about to say $1.70, but it's probably like $3 or $4
It's probably
now.
like $25 for like a scoop of ice cream, and they're like, that's the
They actually
littlest
sell
you can get.
scoops of ice cream in the ice cream trucks out where you
I
are?
don't know. It's a
Well,
Mr. Softy ice cream truck, so I
oh,
actually don't
okay.
know what they sell.
We never had Mr. I'm going to stop talking into 2 microphones. This is so ridiculous. Hold on. I apologize. Okay, back to 1 microphone, like a pauper, like a goddamn ward of the state talking into only 1 microphone. But so I have the but no, we never had Mr. Softy.
Mhm. I
We
didn't either.
we always had indie places. When I was a little boy, our ice cream man in the neighborhood was a Star Trek fan.
Cool.
And oh no, it gets better. As a kid, he was so cool. I found out he was a Star Trek fan because he had a map of the Enterprise on the interior of his van.
Aw.
And I, for those uninitiated, am a very big Star Trek fan, but I was a colossal Star Trek fan when I was a kid, because at that time you had Next Generation on constant reruns, Deep Space Nine on reruns, and you had and some new episodes of Deep Space Nine, and Voyager was still on the air. So,
Mhm.
and the Star Trek movies were still coming into theaters. So that was a really good time to be a Star Trek fan, because there was
Yeah.
just so much going on in the Trek world. And I told him I was a Star Trek fan, and he looked me dead in the eye. I'm like 11, and he was like, "You're a Trekker?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he would, when I would come to get ice cream, sometimes, sometimes he would give me free ice cream.
Mhm. Oh.
Hey, Caller of War, so happy to see you back over on Twitch, where we are in the land of wind and ghosts. Twitch, where it says your average listenership on Twitch is 0.5, like, so half a person. I am your one listener on Twitch. No, but there we go. One eye closed and one earphone on. Good to see you, Caller of War, or a color. I feel like I've messed this up before.
Yeah.
But no, so the ice cream man in my neighborhood, he would sometimes give me ice cream for free. And one time he gave me a packet of Star Trek stuff, just info and maps, because he was a member of a starship, which was like a role-playing game, but this was done. Oh, Counselor of War, but no matter. Good to see you both. It's good to see you too, Counselor of War. I'm gonna try really hard to remember that, so you enjoy when I fail. But yeah, so the ice cream man, he was a member of a starship, but this was like you would role play like you were on a starship.
Mhm.
This was not done on the internet. This was done via mail.
Wow. Like the outside mail?
Like the snail mail, like the
Wow.
postman, right? Like,
That's crazy.
isn't
How
that
did that even
insane?
work?
Well, that's the thing. I ended up not signing up for his starship because I found it a little too confusing
Mhm.
as a kid. But it was literally like they would role play things, and everybody had a different thing on the ship. And he gave me like the packet of info, which I thought was so cool because it included like Starfleet regulations and all this stuff.
Cool.
I thought it was the coolest thing ever. My mom was always nervous because I was hanging out with the ice cream man. And he would stop by my house on purpose because number one, I was always ready to buy ice cream. That's number
Mhm.
one. Like, you better believe I was running after the ice cream truck when I was a kid. And then eventually he stopped giving out ice cream. I don't know what happened. He just wasn't around. He was pretty old too, so I assume he retired or died or something. But like, but he was pretty cool. And then the new ice cream truck came, and it was literally a van.
Oh, really?
Like, I'm trying to, those vans that are like blue with stripes, like those old style, just like
I know
transportation
I know
vans.
exactly, yeah.
It was one of those, but like the side was just cut out.
Wow.
Like it was converted like it wasn't just a van. It had been converted into an ice cream truck that looked like a van for like cargo that like had the roof racks and shit.
Wow.
And and no one would go to it. It would look, because it was just so rinky dink looking.
You know, if people went to it, he'd make money, and then he could get a better ice cream truck van.
Okay, capitalist pig, whatever you say. I think if he got more money, he would just use it to harm the proletariat. But whatever, you know. No, I just remember there were 2 ice cream trucks eventually, and one
Mhm.
looked like an ice cream truck, and the other one was that one. So we would
Okay.
generally not go to that one. Oh yeah, Counselor War's right. Or you end up in the back of said van, which was
Mhm.
really what was why we were nervous. We were just like, oh, cool, there's a van. But no, so anyway, to not get off track on that too much, I'll finish off my point about my over microphoning.
Mhm.
Having this microphone, which needs a Titan right there. There we go. This microphone and this microphone. I also, so I have an SM7B and a Lewitt LCT 440, and then I have the Electro Voice RE320 in my cabinet next to my Rode NT1. And then I have 2 MXL 990s, which is the microphone you have, because for the longest
Yeah.
time we had the exact same microphone.
Yeah.
And when we started doing this podcast, we had the exact same microphone. I just started upgrading because when Weekly Spooky was starting to gain some traction, I was like, well, the real problem for me with that microphone was its self noise is a little high.
Mhm.
So that was really the problem. It
You
just
just didn't wanna sound like me. That's okay.
I actually do think that mic sounds good. It just needs a little bit more filtering. Oh God. Counselor of War asked a terrifying question. He said, I have a snowball. Do I need to upgrade? Don't become me. Don't become me. I own so many microphones. I'm not even hold on. I just knocked everything over.
I only have 2 microphones, or 3 or 4.
Or 8.
I have 4 microphones.
Oh God. Like, here's my Electro Voice right here. Sorry, so my office is shockingly clean because Rachel was kind enough I hired her to do some work around the house. Hear that music?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just my stupid fucking neighbors blaring
Oh,
their
I
car
can actually
stereo.
hear it a little bit, yeah.
At least they left instead of just sitting there playing it.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, he didn't leave. That was a different car.
Oh. What kind of music is he playing?
That's not my dumb neighbors. That's the Amazon Prime truck delivering. They just have their stereo up loud. What did you ask?
What?
What did you ask?
I don't know.
I'm gonna stop digging through my microphones. I just saw what Counselor War said. Okay, how many mouths do you have? Just the one. I think you came in just after I started doing the show on 2 microphones at the same time. I think you joined us right after I stopped doing that. And then he put, is it the sound of an ice cream van? I hope not.
I wish.
Although it's like playing like romantic like R&B music, which would be terrifying if that's what the ice cream truck pulls up. It's just like Barry White and stuff. Can't get enough of your love, baby. Oh yeah. But no, I have too many microphones. I also have the Sennheiser MDK2. And so I do try to use most of them. Like when I do Weekly Spooky, which is kind of like my flagship podcast, it's the podcast that has a lot of listeners. I do the stories on the Shure SM7B, and then I do the intros and outros usually on either this microphone or the RE320 because I think they sound more like radio.
Okay.
Like they're like punchy is what I mean by that. You know, like I feel like I would like to listen to the SM7B for like 3 hours straight because it's kind of smooth and dark. It's not super bright. Even with a presence boost, it's just it's not super crazy bright. But I do like brightness if it's going to be 5 or 6 minutes or even 10 or 15 minutes. It is nice to have that clarity. And that's the thing. This thing is really clear, like really high clarity.
Yeah.
Michelle says, yes, yes. They all sound so different, Henrik. You are
They're
completely justified in
they're
all of these purchases.
fine.
I literally have 2 microphone arms on my desk. There's no hope for me.
It's
Um,
okay.
Counselor of War said, I screamed too loudly. Oh God. Counselor War said, wow, that's a 389 euro microphone, dude. Which one? The SM7B is, yeah, about that. I didn't pay that. I got it on sale for 350 USD, which is a good deal. A very good deal for that microphone. So yeah. No, it's bad. It's bad. It's all very bad. Everything is very, very bad.
Hey, you got things that you like. It's
Well,
nice.
I do a lot of content creation. Like Counselor of War, I know hangs out with us on Twitch when we're live streaming this. But I also, like I said, I have another podcast called Weekly Spooky. Oh wow. Well, oh boy, here we go with Her Majesty. No, Counselor of War said, yeah. So $350 is 290 of Her Majesty's pounds. Oh, okay. Well, and this was before inflation got really stupid. So I don't know. So it was probably a little bit closer. It was like $50 off of what it normally is. Because in America, the SM7B is usually $400, basically, like $399. So, but I got it, yeah, for $350, which was a very, very good deal at the time. And yeah. So that's the one thing. That's if there's one thing I can claim, I don't buy things unless they're on sale for the most part. So like this mic was on sale for almost $80 off its normal price. That's one of the reasons I just couldn't resist buying it. I'm so bad about if I can get a deal. Microphones, I'm getting better because at this point there's only one microphone I can really imagine buying. And that's the RE20, but that's a $480 or something dollar microphone. I don't think I'm going to get it anytime soon. I'm just being honest. Like, even on sale, I almost got it one time when it was on sale for $400, but I didn't. And that was like the best deal I've ever seen for it. So I don't know, maybe one day, but not today.
Yeah.
Or tomorrow, but maybe next month.
Maybe, yeah.
It's a problem. It's a legitimate problem. Oh, thank you, Counselor. I do appreciate that. He said, "Nah, your sound is good, man." I do appreciate that. I do pride myself on us having very good sound. And like I said, I have another podcast called Weekly Spooky, where I narrate a scary story every week. And we have a lot of listeners on that show. So I'm very proud of the fact that we sound so professional. I don't know if you remember this, Michelle, but when I started doing Weekly Spooky, we had trouble getting support. Like we had trouble getting supporters and stuff like that. Like, we had some listeners, but we didn't have anybody backing the Patreon.
Sure.
And I figured out one of the reasons was that we sounded so slick. People just thought we were funded, I guess. And that was not the case. Like we desperately needed Patreon backers to really get the show across. And now the Patreon's actually booming. We just crossed $520 a month. I think it was.
Great.
And that's for Weekly Spooky, as well as my filmmaking endeavors and my photography. So it's kind of cool because if you join for one reason, you might discover other reasons to stick around on the Patreon.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very happy about that. And I started doing a Patreon only podcast called Working Filmmaker, where I talk about what it's like to be a filmmaker for a living. Spoiler alert, it's unpleasant. So all microphone chatting apart. He said, and the young lady, it's true. Michelle's mic does sound great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Like you're like, no, I will barely talk into it.
Yeah.
But no, the MXL 990, in my opinion, is like the best microphone you can get for under $100. And sometimes it's $60. I've seen it that's why I ended up with two of them. Years ago, when I had just one, I saw a sale for one that was $60. So I was like, yeah, because they're good, So I have two of them, and they do sound really good. They just have like a few issues that I don't love to deal with when I'm doing like the kind of podcasts I normally do. Because on this show, like we use Restream, which is an excellent service for us to stream on multiple services and also to communicate with each other. And Restream has a built-in noise canceller that works beautifully on your microphone. Like you sound excellent.
It must. Yeah.
So, Counselor War just said, "What are you filming right now?" So, I just wrapped filming an episode of a TV series that I'm show running and exec producing, which we haven't announced what it's called yet, but it will probably be out in 2 months, I'm hoping, or at least like people will know what it is in 2 months. I don't know how soon we'll have it available to stream
Mhm.
places. I know that you're out in England. If you, do you have Tubi in England? Tubi TV in England? Because if you do, some, not all, but some of my movies are on there. Because I know some of them are on there international. I just don't
Hmm.
know how many places Tubi is in. But so I've been working on that TV series, and a movie that I produced, shot down in South Carolina, called Babe Beach. That film is complete, and I should have the final film in my hands by the end of next week at the latest, and
Great.
then I can begin getting it released. I just watched he said, "How do you spell Tubi?" Toobie. Oh yeah, he put, "Wow, cool. Will it be really available in the UK?" So most of my stuff is available in the UK, usually from Amazon.co.uk. Like you can rent it there. But Tubi is actually TUBI. So TUBITV.com. Or you can just go to TUBI.com. I remember we had that whole experience where it turned out
Mhm.
Tubi.com worked, Tubi.tv worked.
Yeah, yeah, it all works. They're
It was like,
smart.
just put anything you want into the line and you'll find it. But yeah, so try going to Tubi TV, TUBITV.com, and just search if it works. I'm assuming, because I know it works in Canada and Mexico. Oh, okay. It
Oh, okay.
says coming soon to the UK. Well, it will be there soon because Tubi got bought by Fox, so they have money behind them, so they'll be out there. So you can definitely watch them on there once Tubi launches in the UK, because about half of my catalog that's on Tubi is licensed international. The other half is
Okay.
licensed only for North America. So it does vary a little bit. But you can also search my name, Henrik Kuto, on good luck spelling that one, on Amazon.co.uk, and you'll find a lot of my films that have been available in the UK as well. So back in the day, I forgot to mention this. So back in the day, like 8 years ago, I made a family Christmas movie called A Bulldog for Christmas, and it got great distribution in the United Kingdom. And it was
Mhm.
playing on a channel called Movie Mix, which from what I understand, Movie Mix was a whatchamacallit, was a over the antenna channel. And then it also played on Sony Movie Network in the United Kingdom, because I had friends who were in the United Kingdom sending me screenshots of radio times and like the listing on their TV that said like my name on it. He just asked, Scarecrow County, one of yours. I produced and shot Scarecrow County. I didn't direct it or write it, but I had a hand in it. It's a fun little fun little Scarecrow romp. So man, I've been talking. See, this is what happens when I had a good day. I've been having some rough days. I had a good day. I was so I was impressed after I had to run 2 errands, which most days I was struggling to run 2 errands on my way back from Best Buy with this other arm that I don't need that I bought, because shut up. On my way back, I was like, I'm going to drive right past the grocery store, and I haven't gotten groceries this week, and I need some groceries.
Mhm.
So I stopped and got my groceries, and I was like, wow, I'm accomplishing everything today. And then I
Yay.
came back. I ate, well, first I made a tuna melt sandwich, which was delicious. I don't make it like very. Do you ever make a tuna sandwich?
No.
Never?
No.
Do you not like tuna sandwiches?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not
Oh yeah,
really
you
into
don't like
canned.
tuna.
Yeah,
Yeah,
tuna.
I remember now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, usually you mix it with like a bunch of like onion and maybe celery and stuff. But
Sure.
I'm a bachelor, so I just mix it with mayo and mustard and hot sauce and pepper,
Okay.
and it's pretty
But
tasty.
but no, like, onions or anything.
Vegetables spoil.
That's why you have to eat them quickly.
I know. I need to keep more fresh vegetables. I have fresh garlic. I always have fresh garlic around, but
That's
it
good.
keeps for a while, so that's
Mhm.
part of the benefit, I suppose. Um, but what did you have for lunch, Michelle?
I had a frozen burrito.
Oh, how was it?
It's fine. It's the kind that from Aldi, and it comes in a package of, like, 8 of them, and they all got stuck together, and it was a problem.
Oh dear. I'm sorry
Yeah.
for your loss.
Yeah.
Um, Counselor War said, "What is vegetable?" I do like vegetables, but like because of my my inherent scatterbrainness, the only vegetables that survive to make it into my diet are frozen or canned. Because if I have fresh vegetables, I'm lucky to eat half of them. Because I just get pulled away on these flights of fancy. Like, I'll be positive I'm going to cook all these things, and then all of a sudden I'll have a really, really bad day at work, and I'll just order a pizza, and before you know it, things are starting to spoil. I did get, oh yeah, I thought I remembered Counselor War being vegan. He said, I'm vegan. Um, what was that thing? I don't know. It doesn't matter. You know what, Michelle? You take over the show. I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna leave you with the show. Okay.
I'll just leave.
I just leave and you're like, okay, well, bye. You just leave.
I'll just stand up. Yeah, I'll just go.
But no, I do like vegetables. It's just, yeah, I'm always paranoid that I'm gonna let them spoil, and I hate wasting food. So, but I have like tons of bags of like frozen peas and frozen corn, frozen carrots. I love those steaming bags. Those are so convenient. You can just like make a piece of fish or whatever, and then just, you have a side like that. It's pretty nice. I also, I got, my buddy John Dalton visited me over the weekend, and we went out and had dinner. He came by on Saturday, and he brought me 18 farm fresh eggs from his chickens.
Wow.
Straight from the butt, baby. Straight from the butt. So I was very, you've had farm fresh eggs, right? Have you ever had farm fresh eggs?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, they're like neon yellow. That's the way I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I can tell, because if they're, and when I say farm fresh, I don't mean like, here you go, they're at the Whole Foods. I mean like,
yeah,
when,
I know.
When your friend goes, my chicken pooped this. Here you go.
I don't have any chicken friends. Chickens.
Oh, you have friends who are chickens, but no friends who have chickens.
No, I don't have any friends who are chickens or have chickens. I've never been friends with a chicken before.
That's so sad.
Yeah, they don't like me.
You made me sad. Well, if I ever get a chance, I'll bring you some farm fresh eggs, because they stay good. I mean, they stay that good for like a week or two, and then they just become kind of normal after that.
Sure.
But like, whenever you cook them, they're neon yellow. That's how you know, because they're like so yellow, and they're just, it's like if eggs had a volume knob, it's just up louder. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, they're just more savory, like they're just very good. Did you have a follow a question about?
I don't remember.
Counselor of War said, okay, so question for you both. Answer from both of you, please. See, that's his very polite way of saying, Henrik, don't talk over Michelle. That's fair. I struggle with that. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go and why? Well, I know where Michelle's going to say, so go on, Michelle.
Pittsburgh.
You've been there before.
Oh, you want somewhere that I haven't been?
Why would you go to Pittsburgh? Why is Pittsburgh?
I like Pittsburgh.
I mean, I actually like Pittsburgh too, and I think I have more friends there than you do.
I don't have any friends in Pittsburgh.
And no chicken friends in Pittsburgh either.
No, but I could probably find some.
Is Pittsburgh really your answer, or are you just being hilarious?
I don't know. I really do want to go to Pittsburgh. But I guess Japan. I guess I want to go to Hokkaido.
I knew it. Michelle, I knew the answer was going to be Japan. I knew it. If I could go anywhere in the world, well, you have to say why. Sorry, it's where would you go and why? Yeah.
Because I like Golden Kamui a lot, so I want to go to Hokkaido.
Is that a manga or an anime?
An anime, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest. I was like, is that a food?
No, that's that historical fiction anime that I used to watch, but I have to wait for more of it to come out. And it's set in Hokkaido, and I just think Hokkaido's cool, and I just want to go there.
I'm not gonna. While I can tease you for being a weeb,
yeah.
Well, I can tease you for being a weeb. That would totally be an awesome place to visit.
Yeah.
Like, there's no doubt about it. My answer is obvious, although it may have changed, but it's pretty much Antarctica. Always wanted. I mean, since 2020, I've been talking about how badly I want to go to Antarctica, and how Michelle refuses to go unless it's during the 6 months of night.
Yeah.
Which is so weird, because that's the dangerous time to go. And not just dangerous because you'll freeze to death, but dangerous psychologically. Like that's when they make you have to pass a psychological evaluation to be allowed to work there during the 6 months of night. Because the winter in Antarctica, believe it or not, very cold and dark. So, but if not Antarctica, it would be this town, which I wish I had. I haven't memorized the name because it's a native name and I have trouble pronouncing it. But there's a town in Russia that's like way off past Siberia, and it's literally colder than Antarctica. There, it's the coldest place on Earth, like regularly negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit, which I apologize, I don't know Celsius. Very cold, very cold. Like yeah. And I love cold places. I'm fascinated, but Antarctica is especially fascinating to me because it's difficult to get to. It's expensive to go there, and everybody who's there has a purpose for the most part, which I find fascinating because it's all about research and trying to learn about our history and our future and stuff like that. So Antarctica, that, and I always loved the movie The Thing. So, and the Thing that was directed by John Carpenter in the 1980s, that one's in Antarctica. The original The Thing is actually in the North Pole.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't want to go to that lousy North Pole.
Yeah.
Counselor, we're okay. To summarize, one of you wants to live like the Lord of Darkness in permanent night, and the other wishes to live in Akira-esque Japanese fantasy.
I mean, not exactly.
I feel like he's got our number.
Yeah.
I feel like he's got our number. That's pretty solid. I think that was, well, I better put some aloe on that, some aloe vera on that burn there. Ouch. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I would be fascinated by being in Antarctica for the half a year of night, but I'd be cool going in the summer as well. I'm cool with just any time going to Antarctica. I watched a video about learning about what they teach people who move there for the first time to work.
Mm-hmm.
And literally they have these people standing outside in the cold during the day. And the instructor is like, all right, take your jacket off and take your other jacket off. Okay, good. And then like they're standing there kind of cold. He's like, who feels cold? And they're like, I do. He's like, you've already began to die. That's how quick it happens. Because these Antarctic places are not like biodomes. They're towns.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like boxes of, box buildings all over. So when you wake up in the morning, you have to get dressed, take a shower, eat breakfast, whatever, if you eat in your room, and then you have to put on all of that stuff and walk to like where you work or the cafeteria outside. Then come inside, take off all of your layers, do some stuff, and then be like, oh, I want to go to the gym now. Put on all of that stuff and walk. Like that's how it is.
What if you run really fast? Can you make it?
I think you'd probably still be horribly hurt.
Mm.
Oh man, Counselor Moore said that's what you call an icebreaker. The other interesting thing, I watched a YouTube channel of a woman who worked in Antarctica, and she was telling like things you don't realize that help a lot. Mm-hmm. So number one, the central heating in the places you are in, like they generally keep the temperature at about 52 degrees. Like that's nice and warm there. Sorry.
I mean, I guess that probably makes sense.
Yeah.
It's probably really hard to get it up any warmer than that.
Well, and even if you can, everything on the island has to be brought, or on the continent has to be brought. So you're burning fuel. You have to bring the fuel. And then when the fuel is empty, because you got to remember, you cannot leave anything there like either, unless it's a building or something that's being used. So you bring all this fuel tanks, and then the moment the fuel tanks are empty, you got to ship it. Everything has to ship out. Like garbage has to be shipped out. Everything has to be shipped to and from constantly. So even if you could get the place a balmy 65 degrees, you'd be using so much energy. It would be such a waste when you could just get it to like 55 degrees and everybody wear long johns,
I guess.
But she said that the thing that she learned when she first got there that nobody told her was right before you go to bed, because your room is pretty cold, she does jumping jacks and push-ups to get her heart rate pumping so that she starts to feel warm. And then you get under the blanket with all of your clothes for tomorrow. Like all of
Okay,
your
yeah.
not your jacket and stuff, but all the clothes you're gonna wear tomorrow. That way, when you get up, your clothes will actually be warm when you put them on and not cold.
Oh, like you like your clothes are in the bed with you? Is that
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you
like
mean?
you're laying kind
Okay.
of with them, which is
Okay.
nice too because you could spoon with your pants and stuff.
Totally.
I like that. I'm not used to having my window open while we do stuff, but it's just so nice out here today. We've had like in Ohio, especially in this part of Ohio, we've had like 85 to 90-degree highs for
Yeah.
days and days. Today our high is like 72. So I have all the windows open. I'm like, just enjoying it.
That's interesting because it's, like, the first time in, like, weeks where we've had similar temperatures because it's also, like, 70, 72. Actually, I think it's supposed to be a little bit warmer, like, maybe 74, but it feels cool out.
Hmm. Counselor of War says, personally, I'd be worried about my extremities if you catch my drift. Yeah, the ring dang
Mm,
do is the first thing to go. So,
mm.
not to quote my Aunt Betty again by using the phrase ring dang do, but I love see, the funny thing is, I remember saying ring dang do to somebody, and somebody was like, what does that mean? And I was like, it means adult penis. They're like, adult penis? I was like, yeah, if you're a kid, it's a ring dang doodle. That's what I learned as a kid. Okay, ring dang doodle is like
Wow.
a thing you'd say, like, because a kid might be running around and all of a sudden like their diapers or their underwears on their head, like a
Mhm.
little kid, and you'd be like, he's running around with his ring dang doodle out. But like a grown man will be like, will be like, I don't know about all that. I heard they like to pierce their ring dang doos. Like that's a grown man statement. Ring dang doos. See, Counselor of War, you're learning so much about the American, not even South. Kentucky's not even that far south.
Mhm.
Um, you're learning so much to take back to your people. Um, so that you can be like, yeah, it was a good call, just not keep fighting for that place. We're good. We did fine. So, yeah, yeah. So it was a good day. I had a good day, and it was sorely needed.
Good, good.
I'm hoping I can keep it up. I don't have that much left to do after we're done streaming. I'm actually going to work on getting my office organized now that it's clean.
Mhm.
I want to organize it a little bit better. So I think that's what I'm going to work on
That
when we're
sounds
done here.
good. I'm gonna just cry.
That's good too. Counselor War said it's like an AMA about Americans and the joys of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is beautiful. Isn't it Three Rivers meet at Pittsburgh?
Yeah, and it has the second most bridges in the US, not in the world, not the most in the
Yeah.
US. That's New York City
New
or
York City has
state.
the most in the US?
Uh-huh. Even
That
though
makes sense.
Pittsburgh pretends that it does because they wanna be special, but they're not that special.
Pittsburgh is special.
It
You
is
literally have been defending Pittsburgh this whole time.
it's okay. I just like, you gotta be honest about the amount of bridges you have.
That's
And one
true.
of them just fell down too recently, so
Oh,
they
I
have
remember
one
that.
less. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
unfortunate. From what I remember over the years, Pittsburgh has had a lot of bridge issues over the last 30 years.
Well, I mean, considering it's not a
Well, they have the oldest bridges in the country too, many of them, I believe.
mhm,
So, it makes
but
sense.
structurally, I mean, just things are just not funded very well anywhere uh, right now with road bridges and stuff like that. I don't know.
Infrastructure?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, there's a bridge that I go under on my way home, and I can see the rebar in it, and I'm very scared it's going to fall on
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, but the problem is they just don't have enough money. I mean, they tax us a lot. But
They just
that's
need it for other things.
yeah, that's see, if you want a crash course in America, our taxes are high. They really are. They're pretty
Mhm,
high. And like the police are begging for money all the time.
mhm.
Like I don't know about you, I get calls. Like the
I don't
robocalls
get
that say like, "Do you want
calls.
to don't make a donation to the policeman's blah 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 blah?"
Uh,
And then I reply, "Body count, motherfucker," and hang up. Because that's the band that did the song Cop Killer in the 1990s. No, but that's what happens. Like when I worked in nonprofit television years ago, we were financed by what are called franchise fees, which are basically fees. They're basically Okay, I'm trying to think of a place. Okay, so when the cable company comes to a city and says, "We're gonna install cable," like back at when it started, they would be like, "We're
Mhm,
installing cable." They would run their cable lines on already installed power lines and stuff like that. They would
mhm,
use city infrastructure.
mhm,
So, because they did that, um, they were like, "Well, we have to offer something in return." So they started allowing community access to cable, basically. And you pay for it through what's called a franchise fee. It's one of the many little additional things on your cable bill. Well, it was decided forever ago that that franchise fee would be earmarked to fund community access cable, so that people could have free speech space on cable. Now, in like Dayton, Ohio, for example, because that's where I live, 30% now is allocated to cable access, and the rest of it goes to the police department.
oh, wow.
Yeah, they're like constantly shaving it off and shaving it off and shaving it off. Um, Counselor War said, "Your taxes are not high, my friend. I pay 40% of my pay on taxes." Look, just because your boat sank doesn't mean I'm not sinking too. Just because your boat sank faster, like we're both running on drowning. I will say I believe my taxes are too high. I believe your taxes are too high too.
Mhm,
So
yeah.
I'm not going to deny that your taxes are higher than ours. But it's like which is the deadest corpse? They're
Did
both dead.
um, Counselor of War, do you, how are your bridges doing? Are they in good shape?
I don't
Do
think so,
they
because I've heard stories about London Bridge,
what about the other bridges? I'm less
but I feel
worried
like
about
if they can't take care of London Bridge, because I've heard it's falling down, falling down, falling
really?
down. London
London
Bridge,
Bridge?
it's falling down, my fair lady. Oh my god, he's like, all right, leaving forever. Um, oh, oh yeah, he said we have one nearby, but it belongs to the French. We've been paying for it since the '60s. Is there? I thought there was a tunnel from England to France. Is it a bridge? I thought it was a tunnel for some reason. I may be a totally off base though.
Do you guys have, like, bridges, like, that go over roads for other roads? Because that's, like, our big problem is we have overpasses that aren't maintained.
Yeah, overpasses are a big problem.
Yeah.
You'd think that, because most of the highways were built with federal money. I don't know if you remember that
Uh-huh.
story.
Yeah.
Do you remember what they threatened? They used that as a power play over the states to get a national 21-year-old drinking age. The states that had 18-year-old drinking ages were refused highway money.
Mhm.
Um, okay, so Counselor War said there is a channel tunnel. Yes, I thought I remembered watching a video on like National Geographic or something about a channel tunnel. And he said, "Yeah, we have overpasses. We also have cars. I mean, do you? No, you guys. I like those little cars. They're
Yeah.
cute. Whenever I think of driving in England, I think of European vacation. Big Ben, Parliament. Big Ben, Parliament, when they're stuck on the roundabout and they can't get off. Big Ben, Parliament. I would actually love to visit England. I've often joked that if I visited England, I would be like a quasi celebrity because I was in that Bulldog movie that played on television for so long. I was like, I would just get off the plane and somebody would be like, "You're Chips, the magic guy," and I'd be like, "Yes, I am. I'm gonna lean into this forever." Um, hey man, I'm fully electric here. No petrol or diesel for me.
Good for you.
Yeah, nice. I don't know anything about EV cars in Europe really.
Yeah.
I have a Prius, which makes me generally better than most people. Just because I save the planet, except the EV people. But I love my Prius. Once the EV cars get to a point, I will definitely buy one. I
Mhm.
can already tell that they're getting there. They're just not there yet.
Yeah, I mean, me too, if I'm ever have enough money. I mean, I think realistically, I probably will have to drive a gasoline-powered car for a really long time because because I can't afford
They're
them.
getting cheap though. I mean,
Yeah,
already they're getting.
yeah,
I mean,
but I have to get first of all, it's
comparatively.
yeah, exactly. And also, like, I would have to, like, that means kind of reconfiguring I mean, getting electrical wiring because I don't even have outside outlets, and they have to be probably, like, what, like, 240
Well,
volts?
okay. So first of all,
And
you need
my
to calm down. So most of the car companies in America that are selling EV cars
Mhm.
are including installation of a home charger in the price of the car.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah, and they are
Oh.
220 or 240 volt. You can charge with a regular plug though, but like like in 8 hours you'll get like 40% charged. So you could like go to work,
Yeah.
you could like get to work and that'd be it.
Yeah,
Um
I wouldn't like, not with my wiring, I wouldn't try to charge an electric car.
yeah, that's a fair point. Counselor of War said yes, same here. About which thing? I apologize. We're talking too fast. So my thing with EV cars, the only thing keeping me from wanting an EV car right now, aside from the fact that my current car is, knock on wood, is perfectly functional and works great right now, is once they can have a car have at least a minimum of 350-mile range, which
Mhm.
some of them have that, and once the charging, a full charge will take no more than maybe 15 minutes,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I'm in. Then I am totally in. But right now, having it take a half an hour, 45 minutes, or an hour,
It's
with
too
how
much.
much I road trip, it would drive me crazy.
Mhm.
Drive me crazy. I don't know. I thought that was funny to do.
That's funny.
Counselor of War said a home 7 kilowatt charger will charge your car in 6 hours. So overnight, you're good. That's not bad at all. I don't know what that means here, though.
Yeah, what is 7
We
kilowatts?
do everything by volts. We have, so like
Yeah.
the average house plug here is 120 volts. A
Mhm.
refrigerator is usually plugged into a 220 volt, usually. So, like, if I decide to get a full blown hot tub in my backyard, I have to have a 220 wired out back. Um, and then Counselor Vor said, also, I can beat anything at the lights. Anything. Oh, you mean like racing? Yeah, they got some get up and go. Those EVs. My friends Joe and Ia, they just both bought matching EV cars and they love them.
I did see her posting about it, so
Yeah. And if you're like in the message boards for EV cars, you find out that like lots of places will let you charge for free on certain dates and stuff.
Mhm.
So you can get a lot of free power. I have no idea, but your wiring is frightening in the US. You don't even ground your plugs. Yes, we
Yes,
do.
we do. We just didn't used to for a
Yeah,
really long
we
time.
totally have grounded outlets. Like I have tons
And
of grounded outlets.
a lot of places, like, because wiring is so old in some places, that they still have 2 prong, like, all of my house is not grounded, but
Yeah.
anybody who's making houses now, you know,
Yeah,
they
I have grounded
yeah.
outlets.
Yeah,
Um oh sorry, please.
no, it's a
Michelle would know because she's a home inspector. So
yeah.
well, and you have to also consider in America, you don't necessarily need a grounded outlet because you can just point a gun, a readily available gun at the outlet and be like, you better not. Better not.
Yeah, I mean, that's how
Better
I
not.
have to do it when I
That's
plug in something that needs a ground, I'm just like, "We're just gonna do it anyway."
that's the American AF way to do it. That's how we do it.
Yeah.
Oh, I like America and all, but we sure are stupid and funny. Um So I have a friend named Matt. Actually, you've met Matt. Matt Lake. He lives out by you. He had lunch with us one
Oh,
time.
okay, yeah.
Big British guy. I mean,
I
he's like
think
6'5".
he lived in, like, Swarthmore or something.
That sounds made up, but sure. So, but no, he and I love to give each other crap. About he's from England, although he came here when he was like 20, so he's been here more than there. But we like to give each other crap. The big thing is I call him a Welshman and he calls me a Frenchman, and that's our like going back and forth because my name is Portuguese, but it's some people, because Couto, which is not my last name. My name is Couto, Couto, but it looks and can sound just like couteau, which means knife in French. So people often think, and that's a common thing with a lot of Portuguese people in America, at least, is the assumption that we're like Southern French people. That's it's kind of like Cubans in America back when there was a lot of discrimination towards Cubans used to pretend to be Italian because they're very fair skinned.
Mhm.
A lot of Portuguese pretended to be French in America
Okay.
because of discrimination. So I never pretended to be French. In fact, how dare you suggest I'm French? I'm very upset now, actually.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, anyway, he was fun.
Mhm.
He's a fun dude. Counselor War said, "Nah, I had my first electric shock in my life in a house in Florida." First of all, Florida is the place to go to have bad things happen to you. It's also a fun place to go to vacation. That's how they get you.
Mhm.
That's how they
Yeah.
get you. It's like, aren't the beaches nice? Come to Florida. We have such sights to show you. That's pretty much it. So, Counselor War, have you only been to Florida in the U.S. or have you gone anywhere else in the U.S.? I'm very curious.
Me too.
But excuse me. I don't know why. Nothing wrong with Counselor War being the only person hanging out with us today, but like he's the only one chatting with us today.
Yeah.
Did we get knocked off of Facebook and I didn't notice? Because that has
I don't
happened before.
think so.
No,
But
we're live on all of them.
Yeah. That's okay. I don't.
Oh, I've enjoyed this conversation, laughing about England, laughing about America, talking about EV cars. But yeah, so once the quick charge is fast enough, and as long as you can get at least 350 miles roughly on a charge, 300, 350, which is basically like most gasoline tanks get about 3 to 350, depending on gas mileage, then I will be like heavily considering it.
Yeah. I mean, if I had money
Yeah,
to get a new car,
sure.
That's what my the thing
Yes.
would be.
The thing. I think in about 5 to 10 years we'll be like it will be there. In the technology and the price. Counselor War said, only Florida. This was 20 years ago, mind you. Got my passport taken from me. Standard. You had your passport taken from you?
Sorry.
Oh, does he mean because it expired? Wait, passport. Well, Florida's all right.
Was it stolen?
The irony is I've only been to Florida once because I don't live near it at all.
I lived there.
You did live in Florida. See, I went to Florida, but you went to Florida.
Yeah.
Florida. You worry me.
Yeah.
I see. Counselor War says, nah, I was drinking, was 18 at the time, but didn't realize the local laws, so to speak. Well, 20 years ago, it was federal law. That's the thing. I don't know if it's a federal law. I think it's just a state law in every state.
I actually don't know.
I think the drinking age is 18 in every state, but it's a state law in every state. It's just all the same. Because what happened in the 80s was basically the federal government said they would
That was loud.
That's the neighborhood. In the 80s, they said they would withhold money to build and maintain highways if you didn't change your drinking age. So they basically bullied the states into doing what the federal government wanted, which was this bizarre 21-year-old drinking age. What are you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna you can finish your point because it's only kind of related.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was just gonna say I think a 21-year-old drinking age is bizarre. Because then the smoking tobacco age was still 18 until like 2 years ago. And I thought changing the age of tobacco purchase to 21 was also bizarre because the age to enlist in the military is still 18. So it's like, you better not, after you go out and kill some people for your country, you better not hope to have a cold one and smoke a ciggy because, sorry, kid, you can have an AR-15, or it'll be an M16 out there. You can have an M16 and shoot a bunch of people for a war you don't understand, but you sure as hell can't, get good and toasted.
But
yes,
are they in this country shooting people? Because if they're not, they might be able to have those things anyway.
That is true, but a lot of our military is stationed here.
Okay, but are they killing people here?
I mean, I hope so. Otherwise, we're wasting money.
What I was gonna say is, I'm pretty sure the federal government did that with speed limits at one point.
Yeah,
where they tried to get all the states to put their highway speed limit down to 55.
I do remember that.
Yeah, and actually most states were like, no. But New Jersey was like, yeah, 55. And so
maybe that's what inspired the song I Can't Drive 55. That might have been a protest song to it.
Maybe.
Counselor Vor said, my introduction to the States included an unplanned funeral, not my own. Being chased by an alligator and a near shotgun wedding escaped. That sounds like Florida to me. Yeah. No, that checks out.
There's definitely alligators in Florida. So
Oh man. No, yeah, Florida. Well, I went to Miami, so I didn't get really the real Florida experience, in my opinion. I got like, because Miami's amazing. I loved Miami. Have you been to Miami? I can't remember.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. And you hated it?
No, I didn't live that far from it, so I don't have like specific memories
Were you in
of
Fort
Miami.
Lauderdale? Where were you?
Yeah, I was in
Give an address, please.
I was
It's
in
not like you're there anymore.
Tequesta, so I was around West Palm Beach area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, I wasn't on top of Miami or anything. It's just like that I've definitely been there, but I don't
Yeah.
really remember.
When I went to Miami for work, I got to go to Little Havana. It was the coolest experience ever. And I got a Cuban sandwich because, of course, she did.
Mhm.
So it was really nice. That was a fun time. I
Good.
would like to go back someday.
It's not a bad place. It's just weird.
Yeah, no, Florida's just odd.
Mhm.
And Florida's this interesting place where it's like the South. It is. It's like the South. I love the South. But it's like the South, but then it's also not. But then once you get to like Miami and stuff, it's like Central America a little bit too. Like it's just it's a very odd place. And I don't just mean it's like Central America because there's like immigrants and stuff. I mean it's like Central America, like temperature, weather, humidity, the plants that
Mhm.
grow.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean it's like
Yeah.
it's really odd. But then like if you go far enough, then it's swamp, then it's like southern, farmland. Like it's
Mhm.
very
Mhm.
odd. It's just super
Yeah.
weird. It just
Yeah.
dangles so far out.
Mhm.
It just becomes unlike anywhere else. Um, Counselor War said, I keep getting weird ads to buy property in Miami on Facebook. In the UK, what's going on there? They want you back.
Well, to be
This time it'll be
fair,
your funeral.
as far as I'm aware, Miami's having really big problems with flooding
Oh,
from the
yeah.
ocean, and it's just like coming in and streets are flooding like even when there's not a storm. So they need you to buy property there so they have people to live there.
Yeah, so do your part. Buy some
Yeah.
property in Miami. All right, well, I think it's about time I should wrap this up.
Okay.
Counselor of War, thank you for hanging out with us. It ended up just
Yeah,
being a
thank
hangout with
you.
you. I enjoyed it a lot. I
Yeah.
hope you did too. I didn't even get all grouchy about capitalism either. So I'm doing good today. He said, okay, so more waterside properties than usual. Yes,
Absolutely.
there's a
Yeah.
fire sale on waterside properties in Miami. But you have a great day, everybody listening. Hope you all do well. Michelle, take care of yourself. Okay, we're all worried
No,
about you.
I
We're all
know.
very worried about you.
I know.
I'm worried about you because you don't own enough microphones and boom arms.
Well, I can't get them.
I'm I'm sorry.
It's
Um,
okay.
and Council War said, "Yeah, you two are lovely as always. Thank you. We'll be back around the same time next week. So until then, Michelle has the final word.
No, I don't really want the final word. I don't remember when grounding became like standard in electrical code, but it was sometime. I don't know. Leave me alone.